Alright, welcome back everyone. Fire Emblem Three Houses. Last time monastery. This time monastery.
What?
I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Last time was indeed monastery. I'm curious to know how Eloise is doing.
Yeah.
Hello, Professor. What brings you here? Fancy a bit of fishing?
Fancy a game of Gwent.
Yeah.
You know, I can hardly go fishing without thinking of old Gerald. He and I would just sit here, casting our lines again and again. I'm no better at it now than I was then. Not a single nibble.
If you were quieter.
Just like your father. You know all the tricks of the fisherman's trade.
Like not screaming
I
at
was
the fish.
hopeless at it.
Yeah.
He was a master. In the time it took me to catch one fish, he could fill his basket to the brim. You know, talking to you, I'm feeling very nostalgic. Why don't you join me? We can trade some stories about the old man. We spoke before about how Gerald never seemed to age, right? Once, when he was drunk, he let the secret slip. He said he'd had an infusion of crest-bearing blood, and it had greatly extended his life.
Oh,
Yeah. Gerald's just screwing with Eloise at this point.
no, this is completely true.
Oh.
Yeah. Did Rhea mention that? I don't remember. If not, she'll talk about it eventually.
Well, we'd both been drinking. I figured he was joking, so I just laughed it off.
No, he's serious.
Then I asked him his age. He said he'd stopped counting after he hit 100.
Okay, I didn't know that.
The truth. In those 20 years he was away, he didn't age a bit. An incredible.
So
person.
that's why he stops counting his
I
age.
probably don't know the half of it. Actually, I'd like to ask you something about Gerald, if you don't mind. When Gerald was away from the monastery, what was he like?
He did nothing but drink. He liked to fish.
In other words, he was
God.
exactly the same. When
He was a drunk.
He always found time to go fishing. He was hooked on it, you might say. He'd say there was no greater pleasure in life than sinking his teeth into a
All
fish
right.
he'd caught
I-
and washing it down
Sure.
with a drink. I have to say, right now, fishing with you really takes me back. This feels just like the good old days, when Gerald was sitting alongside me.
I hope they like being on recordings. I know they hate it. They've admitted that they're not crazy about it.
You just hit no again, didn't you?
I hit B because I still got Monster Hunter on the brain even after we played this for like 3 hours. Intelligence. You know what we
Does
have?
it return after you fast travel? Just curious.
Well, we fast traveled, so no. You know what we haven't done in a while though? Cooked with people. You know what? Let's have cooking time with Petra. Immortality stew.
It is necessary to be having fresh ingredients for cooking.
Why can we never not burn things?
Today, I will be showing you cooking from my homeland. I am in agreement.
Nice.
Oh, do we have the ability to give people items right now?
Probably why.
Give Gilbert a shield.
Right. I Well, we might have to wait on that, actually. Ooh.
Yeah.
Father! Why do you pretend not to recognize me?
Net,
I've been looking everywhere for you. Please stop treating me like a stranger. I can't bear it. Father, wait! How long will you keep avoiding me like this?
Forever.
I have lost the right to face you or your mother.
This has nothing to do with rights. We're family. I'm your daughter.
Indeed, you are my daughter. Yet I am no father. I am only a fool who abandoned his family.
You really think it was foolish to abandon us?
I do.
Then the least you can do is apologize. I'm fine, but Mother deserves as much. I finished my studies at the School of Sorcery and the Officers' Academy. I have a busy and satisfying life now. But Mother, she's waited for you to return all this time, living under my uncle's roof.
I am sorry, Annette.
I already told you, don't say that to me. Apologize to Mother. Let her see your face.
That I cannot do. I know you do not understand, but it is the way of things. As for you, Annette,
Can anyone in this game just stop being stubborn as hell?
disappear from your
Nope.
life forever. For now, though, I must return to my duties.
Starting to think he matches Dedue's personality to a T. Just without all of the assumed racism. Okay, so I guess the girl leading the charge in the kingdom side for the Empire is not Annette's mom. I just assumed it was because orange hair. Look, I know that's not a great basis, but the game like this, I mean,
Yeah.
tends to be true. Oh, this will be a fun one. Oh, wait, that's right, we had
Do
this.
you have a moment, Professor? I need to speak with you.
Okay.
Thank you so much. This is what I wanted to address. This letter from my adoptive father just arrived. Oh, have I not mentioned him? He's the reason I first came to the Officers' Academy. He's also the one who dragged me from the church where I was living, just so he could use my crest.
I don't understand.
My crest does not yet belong to a house, so he plans to use it as leverage to marry into the nobility. He's a very greedy man who was a roving merchant before adopting me, but now he's in the capital. This letter says that he's finally arranged to marry me off to a wealthy noble. I know he's just thinking of himself, but can't he see that this isn't a priority when we're at war?
My thoughts exactly.
I don't know what to do about this proposal.
Reject it.
I can't see any way around it, so I fear that I must.
Or you could reject
I
it.
just don't want to let go of the life that I've made for myself. I know it's not what my heart wants, but I don't have the strength to say no.
Why is everyone in this game either stubborn as hell or too meek to stand up for themselves?
Well, I suppose it doesn't necessarily have to be the church, but I want to help those in need. If I were to marry a noble, I think it would be difficult to realize that dream.
But becoming a nun? Yeah, probably.
It's just, I've always allowed myself to follow the whims of those above me. I convinced myself that everything in life was at the will of the goddess. I was blind to reality. I believed it was her will to both pull me from the church and guide me to the Officers' Academy. The decision to enter this war was the first time I acted of my own free will. My adoptive father opposed this decision, but I somehow managed to convince him. Still, I couldn't free myself of him completely. This letter is proof of that.
So burn the letter.
It's not that I'm scared of him, but there is something that worries me. I knew you'd understand Professor.
I would.
I've sat down to write a reply several times, but I can't muster up the courage or the words. I was hoping you could provide me with the encouragement I need.
I'll do you one better. I'll write the letter. Dear scumbag.
If I don't, he'll go ahead with the arrangement. I suppose I must aim toward cutting him out of my life completely. Okay. I think that may have been just the push I was looking for. I'll tell him the truth. That I found a life worth pursuing, and I must decline the proposal. Maybe I should tell him I've fallen for someone else.
Who might that be?
Why, it's you, Professor. Isn't that obvious?
I wouldn't say obvious.
I'm just teasing. Now I'm off to write this letter and stand my ground. Thank you for your encouragement.
She actually has an S rank. Huh. I thought the only one that was for both genders, besides Rhea, was Dorothea. There are not a lot of gay or lesbian options in this game. Doesn't affect me because, I'm not either of those things. But, I mean, for other people.
Yeah.
Like, Fire Emblem, I think, has been notorious for, being pretty open-ended. I think, yeah, Ike's canonically gay, if I recall, and he's, like, one of the most popular characters in the series. Yeah, there's not a lot of great options. Your gay options base game include Gilbert and, give me a minute. I think there's someone else. Yeah, not a great choice. And I mean, I guess your lesbian options are a little better. You get Dorothea and Mercedes apparently. Then you have Rhea. But other than that, not a lot of options. Anyway, enough about your potential love interests in this game. Yeah, that's it for this, isn't it?
Yeah.
Before I hit B 8 times in a row. It's gonna happen one of these times. Alright, time to teach the students some knowledge. Okay. Do we really need to teach Felix anymore?
Not really. He'll probably get it on his own.
What did she need? Lance?
I believe so.
Alright, let's teach her Lance, try to get her up as much as we can. Ingrid... Did she need swords?
She might have needed sword.
I honestly don't remember what she needs.
I think she needed, was it lance and sword? But we've got lance up.
Yeah, let's get her a sword up to, well, we'll get it as high as we can go.
Yeah.
Swords, lances, and the bad one. Yeah, we'll train Gilbert. I guess get him more riding, because he's... What did Ash need again? Was it Lance?
I think so.
Yeah, it was Lance. Alright, hopefully you can get that 3-star. There it is! Budding talent unlocked. Now excels at lances. You got Shatter Slash. It's always nice having that. Petra, Well, suppose we could boost our good boy here. Make it a C in heavy armor.
Yeah.
That'd be a bad idea.
That way.
Who else should we teach? Felix is probably fine.
Yeah, Felix is fine. Either Annette or Dorothea. Petra,
I feel like Dorothea is probably a bit easier to get to with this stuff, so I guess we'll just give her magic.
You're
Oh, wait. Petra for the last one, then?
might as well. Well, she's actually got... Yeah, you can just boost that.
Yeah, I'll try to get her C plus in authority.
once.
Authority level 3. And, yeah, we'll just put a bunch of stuff into swords. Alright, not bad. Begin!
Professor.
Yes! Dude, I don't care.
Because
You're
we've
not-
used him so
Yeah,
much.
you're a non-issue to me. Get out of here. I'm curious to see how Dorothea is doing. Troubles with love?
Professor, oh, don't worry. It's nothing. Actually,
Okay, I was going to
can
say
we
it's
talk
gonna...
for a bit? Somewhere a little more private.
What's not private about the dining hall?
I'm just gonna come right out and say it. I find you a little difficult to be around. I know,
hell does that mean?
I'm your student and you're just trying to watch out for me.
You are not my student anymore.
Sometimes, it's like you're seeing right through me.
I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize.
Is it the cold and different eyes?
I'm just
It's
self-conscious.
the cold and different eyes, isn't it?
The thing is, I don't have anything to call my own. No land, no birthright, no fortune. Little knowledge or battle skill. I think that's why I always clung to my popularity as a diva. Even after leaving the stage behind, I sort of kept up the act. When I look at you, it's like your eyes are accusing me. Telling me that you see right through it. That's what I mean when I say it's difficult being around you. Hey, this might be nuts, but maybe you could show me some kind of weakness of yours?
My heart doesn't beat.
You know my biggest fear. If I know one of yours, maybe I'll feel less, I don't know, vulnerable.
I don't know if it would help.
Excellent. Well then, don't mind me. I bet I know your weakness. It's not mental, is it? It's physical. You're ticklish. Here, I'll prove it. That's right. The next time you gaze into my soul, I know just how I'll retaliate.
I'm not going to ask why there's hearts
Professor?
popping off of her.
What's with you? Why aren't you reacting to anything I'm doing? Come on. I thought that was funny. I swear, it's like your heart isn't even beating.
Ah, so it's her conversation. And my heart isn't beating.
Don't be so silly. Huh? It really isn't beating?
Yeah.
Is what I'd say if I were more gullible. You're just fooling around, Professor.
No.
Not sure how you
No.
did it.
Violet isn't
That's
joking.
a good one.
Heart doesn't beat. And I know why. I don't think... How much do we know about that so far?
We just know that it doesn't beat.
Yeah.
And that Rhea, I believe, tried to hide it.
Yeah. Problem is I can't exactly explain that, but there's an easy explanation of why it doesn't beat. And it's connected to a lot of the stuff that Rhea may or may not tell us basically at the end of the game.
I've really gotten
The
that.
thing is, she lore dumps right before the final boss.
Ah.
Well, okay, not before the final boss. I don't know who the final boss is in this route, but on the other routes, it's like the second to last mission.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's always a mission, it's like, I think it's called Forward to Shambhala or something. I fucking hate that mission. Because the boss of that mission has access to Quake. It's a dark magic that the second he shows up, hits the whole field.
Mm.
So if your party members aren't the strongest, they all die. I hate it so much because it's such a cheap move, and he's got like 4 dudes that'll freaking flood in to stop you. It's so stupid. Well, it looks like we have more sports.
Yeah.
Oh, this will be a fun one.
Excuse me, Ash. Do you have a moment?
No.
I finally managed to finish cooking a dish, and I would love for you to have a taste.
Sounds good. I'd be happy to.
Mercedes, this just tastes like dirt. It is
Oh,
dirt.
Mercedes, this is delicious.
I used that herb you suggested. Boiling it gave off such a lovely aroma. I think I used the right amount of spice, too. Even I could eat it without burning my tongue. I'm a much better cook now, thanks to you. I hope you can continue teaching me.
Oh, definitely. I should thank you too.
Thank me? Even after all the trouble I've caused you?
Seeing you persevere has made me really happy. In fact, you've reminded me of someone I cared about a lot.
Oh, someone you cared about? Romantically? This is all so sudden, Ash. I don't...
I didn't mean it that way. I was actually thinking about my brother.
I thought he was talking about Renato,
What
but...
a relief. I didn't even know you had a brother.
He was the
I'm
son of
starting to
Renato.
think you don't know that anyone has siblings.
I always called him my brother, though.
The concept is foreign to her.
Never got
Apparently so. She has a brother.
Laugh and try again. Whenever I was feeling down about
He's old as
setback,
shit looking, but...
cheer me up. He'd say something like, "Don't worry, we'll tackle it together next time." I was always happy to have him around.
He sounds like a wonderful person.
He was. And I get the same feeling from you.
I've done nothing but bother you with frivolous little things. I'm sure I could never be like your brother. But I'd like to stay by your side, if you'll have me.
What do you mean?
I want to be there to help you in times of need, or to cheer you up when you're feeling down. I should be able to manage that without doing too much damage.
I'm glad to hear you say that. Thank you, Mercedes. I know I can rely on you.
You know, whenever it comes to a talk of, like, romance or something, Mercedes is a lot more playful than I expected her to be.
Yeah.
Given that I just kind of associate her with nun personality.
Yeah.
She's a nun. It's a thing. She's very playful when it comes to that. Kind of unexpected.
Yeah.
Anyway, next time I think we'll get into some battles, including probably Battle in the Kingdoms and Weather Vane. Oh! Oh!
Okay.
House Dominic from Annette. Oh. I guess next time we'll be doing the Weather Vanes of Foglin. I've never actually done this one because I didn't have Gilbert. He only appears on this route. And then probably the Battle for the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. See you guys then.